In history, whose life can be described as exploding with brilliance? That would be Napoleon. You should know that Napoleon became the commander-in-chief of the French army at the age of 26. This young man defended France and protected the fruits of the revolution. He single-handedly led all the French armies, which is quite terrifying to imagine. He started studying military tactics at the age of 10 and constantly analyzed the global situation. Napoleon read every book in the library of his school, from the history of India and China to Egypt and Europe. Not to mention, he had an exceptional memory and a clear understanding of the geography of the entire Alpine region. He contemplated countless times on how France and Italy should develop. As a result, he personally led the French troops stationed at the foot of the Alps. The soldiers were skeptical when they saw this young man, a short-statured individual, suddenly claiming to be their leader, commanding them to march to Italy and cross the Alps. However, Napoleon said two things. First, he told them about the vast plains and treasures that lay beyond the mountains. Second, he promised to fulfill every word he spoke the next day. Within 2 weeks, he established his authority, led the troops across the Alps, and quickly unified all of Europe. Italy and Austria were defeated. He even appointed his brothers as the kings of various countries. This remarkable military genius never lost a battle. But this extraordinary individual, with his military brilliance, ended up making a very foolish mistake. What mistake was that? He suddenly decided to invade Russia. He believed that Russia should be conquered because the Russians were helping the British, and they didn't obey France due to their long-standing enmity. So, he wanted to attack Russia. The Tsar of Russia knew he couldn't defeat Napoleon in a direct confrontation, so his strategy was to retreat continuously. Napoleon led his army towards Russia, advancing deeper into the country. However, Russia was vast, and the Russians employed a scorched earth tactic, burning everything along their retreat path, leaving nothing for the invaders to sustain themselves. Napoleon's army marched through the desolate Russian landscape, all the way to Moscow, facing only symbolic resistance from the Russians, which they couldn't overcome. The Russians abandoned Moscow, and Napoleon occupied the Kremlin. It was at this moment that Napoleon, who always sought peace after winning battles, sent a letter to the Tsar to negotiate a peace treaty. However, the Kremlin suddenly exploded. The Russians were relentless. They were what we call a warlike nation, willing to destroy their own Kremlin and set it ablaze, resulting in the deaths of many people. Napoleon narrowly escaped being burnt alive. In the end, Napoleon led 500,000 soldiers to invade Russia, but he himself had to retreat back to France on a sled. Only a few soldiers, less than 500, managed to return to France over time. Why would many intelligent and capable individuals, who easily succeed in their first ventures when they are young, make such mistakes in their subsequent endeavors? It's because learning principles is easy, but letting go of attachments is the hardest. It's due to your attachment to your own ideas, thinking that you're already excellent, and that everything you conceive is correct. The previous experiences have proven that you are right. This is called inductive reasoning. However, your past successes cannot guarantee that your next endeavor will be correct. Using this form of inductive reasoning to boost your confidence, thinking that you have no problems, can lead to a complete reset of your life with just one failure.